Do you remember an interesting sight on the Buffalo waterfront back on December 2017? It was the latest version of the USS Little Rock actually being commissioned in a ceremony as the U.S. Navy put it to sea in service as a new cutting-edge littoral class warship. But now, after just 6 years, we have learned that service is coming to an end. We thank you for joining us here at 5:30. I'm Kate Welsh. Chauffeur Claudine is off tonight. The ship is something you, the taxpayer, paid for. Over $350 million to build each one. Channel 2's Ron Plants is live tonight at Buffalo's Naval and Military Park to help explain what happened and where they go from here, Ron.
That's right, Kate. You know, the Navy actually made history here on December 16th, 2017, when for the first time ever, they commissioned a new warship right next to its namesake warship, and that would be the museum ship right there, the USS Little Rock, the old 1950s era cruiser, and they brought into service this new USS Little Rock. But unfortunately, we have to tell you that its history is very short-lived.
Man our ship and bring her to life.
The traditional and ceremonial start of service on that cold, snowy December day in Buffalo as the crew did run up the gangplanks to begin USS Little Rock's Littoral Combat Ship No. 9's Navy career. We showed you back then how the ship was actually built at a Wisconsin shipyard at a cost of over $350 million, and there were even shipboard tours to help explain its new technology and potential missions, everything from special operations with Navy SEALs to anti-submarine warfare.
That's the camera that the gunner would use to focus the weapon on.
We also told you about the ship unfortunately getting stuck in the St. Lawrence ice for 3 months in Montreal while en route to its home port in Mayport, Florida, and then the Pentagon's whole supposedly transformational low-cost LCS program getting panned and then pulled apart by politicians on Capitol Hill. One example?
The Navy was told to operate this ship with a crew of 40. Nobody ever said we can do it with 40. They were told to make it work with 40. It turns out that you can't.
The eventual crew size twice that number, but there were also seaside problems with the sophisticated ship propulsion technology, which allowed the warship to be fast and maneuverable, a warship acting like a jet ski, some said. In some cases, LCS ships had to be towed back to base, and Pentagon officials and admirals eventually decided some of the ships, like the Little Rock, with the Freedom Hull design built by a Lockheed Martin subsidiary, were just too expensive to maintain and operate.
They've done a lot of work on these ships that they are now decommissioning. So, theoretically, they run fine now. They're still getting rid of them. It is sad. It's an expensive lesson. There are things these ships can do the Navy doesn't want to do, mostly because of culture in many ways. There's still a lot of use in the ships. They are not useless.
Chris Cavas down in Washington and said in his opinion it would be a good idea actually if they used the new USS Little Rock as a mothership, believe it or not, and they could have launched surface or underwater drones out of it. Obviously the Navy disagreed. Now a Navy public affairs officer told me that after that decommissioning ceremony in Florida on Friday at the naval base there, they're actually going to send the Little Rock, the new Little Rock, to the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, and from there it will be put up for sale with a possibility that a foreign navy could actually buy it as a warship, Kate.
Yeah, we heard the word sad used there before. We look back at the footage from the ship's arrival and commissioning in 2017, Ron. It was an event, and you really have to imagine that there is or may be a sense of loss for many people who were proud of that legacy here in Buffalo.
Yeah, Kate, actually, we talked to Paul Marzello, who is the president of the Naval Park, and he told me that he is actually flying down to Florida on Friday with the chairman of that commissioning ceremony back in 2016. They're going to be there to observe this special ceremony and to honor the crews that served aboard this new USS Little Rock for only 6 short years. So reporting live here from the Naval Park, I'm Ron Plants on your side, Channel 2 News. Back to you, Kate.
Ron, thank you.